วัสดีค่ะ
Good morning. The Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister คุณดอนปรมัตถ์วินัย Associate Professor Dr. สรณิต ศิลธรรม Chairman of the National Innovation Committee, the National Innovation Agency Public Organization, executives of agencies and private companies, and distinguished guests. I feel very honored, and I am also very excited that we are back here today for the Startup Innovation Thailand Expo, the biggest in the country. For the 2023 Startup Innovation Thailand Expo, or SITE2023. And for today, we also have the award ceremony for the Prime Minister's Award. And for this year, we have the theme of Innovation Partnership. Together we grow, and together we will create an innovation partnership in order to transform Thailand to become an innovation nation and to strengthen startups as well as innovation businesses. And it will also act as a platform for gathering businesses, whether big or small, and also those who have experience and knowledge in innovation nationwide, investors from the public and private sector in order to move forward Thailand in becoming an innovation nation. And this is a huge cooperation between four sectors: the public, the private sector, the educational institutions, and also the society or organizations in order to expand startups so that Thailand can become an innovation nation. And for today's event, we will begin with a show. And if you are ready, we will start with the opening show for Thailand Startup Innovation 2023 Expo. Is it technology? What is innovation? Innovation might be related to various machinery. What is innovation? the Deputy Prime Minister, the Chairperson of the National Innovation Committee, His Excellency.
Easier for us to recap what has been done for the past 7 years. 7 years ago, we started our so-called tech event by using this word, Startup Thailand. And later, we start another event, so-called Innovation Thailand. That's why they have some specific differences between the two. Startup Thailand mainly focus on developing ecosystem for startup, while Innovation Thailand we tend to manage to have the collaboration between SMEs, social enterprises, big corporations, universities, and government on innovation system. You can see that in the first phase we act as a system integrator. There were around 200,000 people to participate with Startup Thailand event, around 30,000 for Innovation Thailand. Then we thought that it should be a single big event that's already combine everybody in so-called startup and in innovation ecosystem together. That year was 2019. So after we decided to combine the two, the whole world has been locked down, if you remember. That would be another big opportunities for innovation in Thailand to prosper, because we're moving from ecosystem building for the first 4 years into developing minds innovation, which is very challenging. We shift from purely physical event into purely online and digital event. So we have around 3 years to combine startup Expo and also Innovation Expo to be SITE Startup and Innovation Thailand Expo since the year 2020. We reached around 3 million viewers for the past 3 years with almost $3 billion investment negotiation and discussions for the first 2 phases. Now we are moving into the next phase, the 3rd phase of our event, so-called Innovation Partnership, which is our main theme for this year. Let me brief you about the first event that we started in year 2016. We call it System Integrator. We try to have a tour around 3 specific innovation cities in Chiang Mai, Khon Kaen, and Phuket, which we believe it will transform these 3 cities into innovation hub of Thailand, apart from Bangkok. This is the first draft of our ecosystem on that particular year. You see, it's look very so-called universities and governmental led. There are not so many startups at that time. So this is the first universe that we try to map. The year later, 2017, we have our team so-called Scale Up Asia. We rank number 7 in sorry, what's wrong? Okay, in the year 2017, we expand our dreams not only in Thailand but also. Oh, I think they have something wrong. Okay, there are 3 specific things on year 2017. We are ranked number 7 in the world for best startup ecosystem on that year, mainly in Bangkok. We start our universities, entrepreneurial programs with around 50 universities on our so-called entrepreneurial startup and innovation Thailand leagues. We start to have our so-called specific and very unique combination of corporate that's entering into venture capital. Later, in the year 2018, we're talking about areas opportunities, not only in Bangkok. We would like to have quite a few number of cities all around Thailand to have this kind of innovation opportunity as well. I should have something wrong with this one. And the year before COVID, we have almost 40 countries to join our event. And we changed the whole event management into the specific 9 areas of innovation all around Bangkok, around BTS area. So this is the things before COVID-19. Sorry, they have something wrong with the slides. What's wrong with this?
เดี๋ยวจะมีทีมงานกดให้ก็ได้ครับ
เชิญครับ In this particular year, we not only focus on the growth stage, but also social innovation in the city, meaning that we think about the inequalities and also the chance that people can enjoy social innovation. Next slide, please. Next. You can see that we start to have very internationalized Thai ecosystem, and at the same time, we try to brand Bangkok as a place for innovation, a place or a city that embraces innovation and startup. Next slide, please. Suddenly, we faced with COVID-19. Next. The theme for that year, we move into innovation in time of crisis. Merge Startup Thailand and Innovation Thailand Expo together. Next slide. It's purely online, no hybrid. It's purely online. That's why we start to work with around 8 startup companies working on MICE, working on event management, so that we can have a very unique and also very collaborative event. In year 2021, we mainly focus on deep technology, which is going to rise. Not only tech startup anymore, but also deep technology that's using research and development. Next slide, please. And the year 2022, we mainly focus on metaverse developments, 3D animation, so that we can have the international collaborations on digital and also physical world. We try to reopen our city again. That's why at that time, we mainly focus on the opening the cities. And this is our Thailand Startup Universe in the year 2022. And we are going to announce Thailand Startup Universe this year later in Saturday. Next, please. Again, if you trace back to the past 7 years, this is our achievement. Our rank moving from number 51 to 44, and after that, we are moving into 43 on Global Innovation Index. Next slide, please. This is very good news for us this year. Bangkok has been ranked from 99 last year as startup cities. Now we are ranking number 74, better than 25 ranks for only 1 year. And our global ecosystem has been up for 1. Next slide, please. That's why this year our team mainly focus on public and private partnership. We have our extensive collaboration from the government and also from the so-called ecosystem. Next slide, please. I would like to welcome you into our this year 2023 Startup and Innovation Thailand Expo under the themes of Innovation Partnership. Let's join our hand together and change the world with innovation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Achairat, for your speech. ในช่วงนี้นะคะก็ต้องขอบ
And from now, I'd like to say thank you for Dr. Pat one more time to share with us again about the overview of the achievement in the past time and the readiness in order to leverage the economy and Thai society in order to be open for innovations and respond to any changes in the future. And up next, we will enter to the award ceremony with the Prime Minister Award to those who contribute and support the ecosystem development and in order to strengthen the economy for startup Thailand in order to cope with international standards. And in terms of these awards, we divide into Prime Minister Award, National Startup 2023, including the Prime Minister Award, Innovation for Global Challenge. And today, we're very honored to have the Mr. Chairperson to present the award.
Congratulate and celebrate with the winner who are going to receive the Prime Minister Award 2023 ในลำดับนี้ค่ะดิฉันต้องขอเรียนเชิญนะคะท่านรองนายก
And up next, may I invite the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister to present the award. Big hands to welcome คุณดอนปรมัตถ์วินัย
สำหรับนะคะ
For the Prime Minister Award National Startup, so this is the first award of the year, and to honor it for startup who has potential and create the most growth, the highest growth, and the leader of the innovation, and the winner is. Congratulations to Lineman Wong Nai. Please, Kun Kits Isriya Pairit, the device from the Lineman Wong Nai, please. And from the merge between Lineman together with the Wong Nai platform that provide restaurant information more than 10 years with the investment of $110 million from GeoWeed and make Lineman Wong Nai is a leader of the platforms. Big hand to the winner once again. And followed with the innovation list of the year to honor the role models who promote the enterprise ecosystem development and include new leaders into the ecosystem and leverage the growth. And the winner is Assistant Professor Yuttana Son Sawat, the chair of Thai Startup Association, and he is the Deputy Dean of Siam University, and he is the lecturer of the Siam University and CEO High-Techs as well. Congratulations once again. And another winner who received Innovation List of the Year, Assistant Professor Dr. Nacha Tuvi Sangsakun Thai. Congratulations. And she's engaged with another matters, but may I invite the delegates to receive the award on behalf, please. And for Dr. Nacha, she's as of now, she's the Global Chief Innovation Officer at Chulalongkorn University, and including a position of Associate Professor Engineering of the National Innovation Agency of Thailand. And next award is Investor of the Year for the invested company that create the highest growth for startup and promote the startup ecosystem development in the country in order to leverage investment. And the winner is InnoSpace Thailand. Please คุณนฤสัน ธรรมรชร the acting chief executive acting managing director to really drive the innovation with initial capital of 550 million baht, together with the different sectors in order to leverage the capacity of a startup in Thailand and strengthen the startup ecosystem. And next award is Best Brotherhood of the Year, to honor the big organization that has potential to create the growth for startup and promote the startup ecosystem development in the countries. And the winner is, congratulations to the Digital Council. May I invite ML Nongrak from the Economic and Digital Commission of Thailand play important role to work with public and private sectors in order to leverage or increase the competitiveness on digital and develop digital people in order to adopt and in order to create the sustainable national development. And there are more than 22 associations as members. Congratulations once again to the Digital Council of Thailand. And next, Best of Contributor in Human Tackle Development. And this award is to honor the potential organization to develop technological manpower. And the winner is Huawei Technologies of Thailand. Please on the stage, the Managing Director of Huawei of Thailand, Mr. David Lin, on the stage, please.
Capital Development สำหรับผู้ให้บริการชั้นนำ
world leading service provider for infrastructure and communication, as well as the smart devices. Huawei also invested to develop digital and technological people, consistently. And the Best of Contributor in Human Development, another award, and the winner is the Scientific and Technology Park Chiang Mai University, or CMU. Please on the stage, Dr. Kitiwat Vatanachai, the Director of the Science and Technological Park Chiang Mai University. So this is the internal academic. They linked the work together from Chiang Mai University with the industrial sectors, as well as the public and private sectors, as well as CSO. And they adopt or apply existing resource in the universities. And big hand once again to the Prime Minister's Award National Startup 2023. And congratulations once again. So we will continue to the Prime Minister Award Innovation for Global Challenge. And there are in 3 areas altogether. The first area is competitiveness. Congratulations to WHA Group. Please over on our stage, Mr. Kairat Achawat Chatrod from WHA Corporation. Public Company Limited on the stage, which established in the year BE 2546, and the entrepreneur has a vision to develop industrial, sector to involve in logistics, digital, and utilities and energies in order, as well as provide the digital service in Southeast Asia. Congratulations once again. And up next, for environmental area, the winner is Kasikorn Bank. Dr. Vichai Narongpanit, the Assistant Managing Director for Kasikorn Bank Public Company Limited. And today, KBank already announced ESG policy. And, this is a person who really drives ESG for the bank in Southeast Asia region. And for social area, the winner is Young Happy. Please, over on the stage, Kun Chawkrit Onyon, co-founder of Young Happy. On the stage, please. For Young Happy, it's the try to improve the community for elderly people in the countries and globally. And Young Happy intend to really change the aging society to be more fun and gain more value and self-reliant dependence, and both for online and offline. So big hands once again for old awards receivers, recipients, for Prime Minister Award recipients. And from now, we enter to the officially start the ceremony of the event. May I invite Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister to kindly deliver the opening remarks. Big hand to Deputy Prime Minister once again.
Good morning, everyone. Today is an important event that is generally called an event for the talented. And I'm very honored and would like to thank the NIA for preparing the speech. I would like to express my appreciation for attending the opening ceremony of the Innovation Thailand Expo in 2023. And I would like to express appreciation for the recipients of the award and also the Prime Minister for helping improve Thailand's innovation in 8 categories. Executives and recipients of the award, and distinguished guests and the press. We need to create the future. And that is an important role of innovation in developing the country. Innovation is not only something that creates convenience for us, but it creates the future. The future of a change in the economic structure and the livelihoods of people. We have shifted from an agricultural world to a world that depends on innovation and IT. The government so far has given importance to the development of innovation in order to develop the country's society and economy, to improve the livelihoods of our people, whether it's in medicine, the environment, society, economy, and also improving the efficiency of manufacturing. And those are all considered innovation, and also various organizations related to innovation also create a comparative advantage for our country. and also to increase investment in the country. And in order to improve innovation, we need to have an innovation partnership, which is the key to enhance the country's competitiveness. So I would like to thank all sectors for playing a role in supporting the development of innovation and also driving forward innovation and technology, as well as small and medium enterprises, whether it's from the manufacturing or service sectors, to become an innovation-based enterprise in using innovation to enhance our competitiveness. Startups can grow very quickly, and they can adapt various strategies and innovation to grow their company rapidly and to create a massive amount of revenue. So startups were set up to solve problems that occur in our daily lives amidst the changing world. So startups are businesses for the future, and it will drive the economy of the country. So supporting Thailand from becoming consumers to people who are able to create new innovation is considered the country's challenge. And it is one of the country's main policy to develop the country. And I truly hope that today's event will enable us to reconsider the importance of the partnership between startups in order to for Thailand to become more competitive in the international arena. And we have seen results of the various achievements, and we have already seen in terms of the participants, the recipients of the Prime Minister's Award. And finally, I would like to thank and I really appreciate the National Innovation Agency, who is the host of this event, in enhancing Thailand's innovation, and also partners from the public, private sector, educational institutions for giving importance and for cooperating in this event. So I hope this event for the next 3 days will become successful. Thank you very much.
ขออนุญาตเรียนเชิญท่านอยู่ด้านบนเวทีต่อ
So may I ask Your Excellency to remain on the stage for the photo shoot, and we are very honored to have executives from different organizations to kindly join today's event. May I invite the Deputy Professor Soranit, and he is the Director of NIH, the National Innovation Agencies, to be on the stage, please. And Dr. Panat Chairat, the Director from the NIH, and may I invite Kun Sumthorn Chayindi Poom, the Deputy Secretary of the Prime Minister's Office, and Kun Nantiwat Samat, the Secretary General from the Foreign Affairs Ministries. And up next, may I invite the committees, advisors from NIA. May I invite Kun Yongyut Sawapryuk on the stage, please. Kun Wanat Terpaisit-Pong. And next person, Kun Polawat Supha Pacharaset. And Dr. Kit Phakabunfeung. May I invite you on the stage, Kun Vithapol Jodjit, please. And Kun Vichian Suksoi. And Professor Keurwong Bunsing.
Tim Sikut up on the stage to join for a photograph, please. So we are going to have a group photo session for the first shot. เดี๋ยวเรามีลำดับถัดไปนะ
Stand up next.
Right in the middle and smile. In the back as well. ด้านหน้าขออนุญาตนั่งลงก่อนนะคะถ้าเรียบร้อยแล้วเราจะเข้าสู่ช็อตที่ 2
So we take the second photo shoot. Thank you to the committees as well as executives from NIA as well.
You may now please take rest. And next, I would like to invite ต้องขอเรียนเชิญท่านประธานแล้วก็
May I invite, please, the Deputy Prime Minister to remain on the stage. Up next, may I invite Kun Narit Sasianasakt, the Secretary General from the Board of Investments, please. And may I invite
Excellency Dr. Chandor Sipos, the Ambassador of Hungary to Thailand, Embassy of Hungary in Bangkok. Please join besides the photo taken. And together with His Excellency Mr. Phan Chi Thang, Ambassador of Vietnam to Thailand, up on the stage. Thank you very much. ขอเรียนเชิญค่ะคุณอารีพัฒน์
Next, may I invite Kun Ari Pancharan Suk, the Deputy Secretary of the Office OPDC, and Kun Silidet, the Deputy Managing Director of the Bangkok Bank, Kun Surachai Sajaphaibunkit, the committees from the Chamber of Commerce in Thailand, and may I invite Kun Jirasak Suyakam, the Director from SME and Startup Development for the Bangkok Bank of Agriculture and Cooperatives.
The CEO of Agoda up on the stage for a photo taken. เรียนเชิญนะคะคุณนิชาภา
And may I invite Kun Vichapha Rotsavi, the Deputy Director from Exhibition, and may I invite Dr. Pathamawadi Konukul, Director of the Office of the Science and Innovation Research Development, please.
และเช่นเคยนะคะของช่างภาพหลักที่อยู่ตรงกลางก่อนนะคะ So firstly, could you please look at the man, a photographer, right in the middle.มีสื่อมวลชนถ่ายภาพเสร็จเรียบร้อยนะคะขออนุญาตนั่งลงและเดี๋ยวเราจะถ่ายภาพ
And we will do the widescreen shot.
and smile เรียบร้อยไหมเอ่ย and one more shot 1 2 and smile Thank you very much once again for your support ขอบคุณอีกครั้งหนึ่งค่ะขอเสียงปรบมือให้กับ
So big hands to all executives, please. And next,
ขอเรียนเชิญนะครับ
may I invite the Prime Minister Award, all Prime Minister Award recipients on the stage in order to join the group photos with the Mr. Chairperson and executives, please.
And for the last of group photo, I'd like to invite all the winners from the Prime Minister Award 2023. I'm going to have a group photo session right up on the stage to give this memorable moment. All right, we have the video camera. The main camera right in the middle. And also we have the main organizer, photographer, right in the back. Please look at the camera right in the back. 1, 2 and smile. ยิ้มกว้างๆได้เลยนะคะ ทุกท่านที่นั่งอยู่ณที่นี้ก็สามารถยิ้มไปพร้อมๆกับผู้รับรางวัลเช่นเดียวกัน ขอบคุณอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะคะแสดงความยินดีให้กับทุกรางวัล
Thank you once again, and congratulations to all the winners. Big hands, and thank you so much for the Mr. Chairperson's Excellency Don Baramat Vinay, the Foreign Affairs Minister, to kindly preside over the ceremony, including all participants, executives from both public and private sectors who really drive and make these events happen. And for today's event, today is the first day, and this is a good starting to equip all the innovators. As well as all investors as well who are interested in the enterprises and how to begin the startup ecosystem. We will strengthen our ecosystem and we try to strengthen the startup ecosystem with the support from all sectors. And today's the key activities today, we still have a lot of activities and forum that you may listen and attend to hear the top speakers from Thailand and international speakers, and we will hear the business opportunity sharing, exchanging sessions, and there will be innovation that could create the change, for the future. And we have ceremonies. We just have the ceremonies a while ago about the honorable award ceremonies, and next will we hear the keynote speech under a very interesting theme. From former government CIO of Estonia, and for those who are interested, you may be seated and sit in front of the main stage.
And for all your participation and your attention in our opening ceremony of SITE 2023, thank you very much that you're witnessed the return of the greatest innovation exhibition and startup networking event here in Thailand. So this year's SITE 2023 is being organized under the concept of innovation partnership. Together we grow, which aims to create the innovation partnership that will drive Thailand to become an innovation-based nation and strengthen the innovators and all startups together. So upcoming next, we are going to have the highlight of the event as well, the keynote speech in the topic of digital innovation in public sector, what made Estonia becoming a leader in digital living. ช่วงนี้นะคะสำหรับท่านที่สนใจสามารถ
For those who are interested in this session, you may please join us and be seated. And definitely for any of you who would like to take the translation headset, please contact our staff and please contact our staff at the registration desk along the stage. So now we will be hearing the special keynote, which is so interesting session today.
Continue with the first keynote speech by one of the founders of Estonia's groundbreaking and e-residency program and the world's top 20 most influential people in digital government by a political. So right now I would like to take this opportunity to invite our first speaker, former government CIO of Estonia. Could you please give a big round of applause and welcome Mr. Sim Sikut, please.
Good morning, and it's an utmost honor to be the first speaker this morning, and honor from a country to be featured with a sort of small showcase in terms of how innovation can happen even in public sector. Well, I was kindly introduced by my background. These days, I'm a managing partner in what's called Digital Nation. We advise governments around the world how to do things digitally. But indeed, I've had the privilege of serving my government for a number of years, including as a government chief information officer, taking the country to the next level digitally all the time. Now, from this, why are we speaking about Estonia? And in this context, well, Estonia started going digital 20, 25 years back. And really for the reasons that compared to Thailand and many other countries of the world, we are so small. We are 1.3 million people, and that's been the purpose why to go strongly digital, why to strongly rely on innovation. If you're that small and still want to be a fully fledged country, strong defense, welfare for people, so forth, well, and no natural resources necessarily, you have to be very effective in how you do things, very efficient, very productive how you do things. And that's what led us to experimenting with technology, with digital tools, all the way back to late 90s when internet was just taking off and digital solutions becoming a mainstream part of our life in the first occasion. The experiments worked. We saw that indeed this way we are able to do more as a government, we're able to deliver more value for our people with the services we provided, and with, perhaps even with a less amount of money. So from these experiments, it became a conscious strategy, a conscious effort, all the way that continues today and into the future. So Estonia has relied strongly on digital, and all the way to the point where we can today say that almost everything can be done digitally with Estonian public sector, and I'll come back to that. But fundamentally, I think what has been our core learning, and perhaps just like the main thing to perhaps remember from this talk, even if we talk about digital innovation, let's forget about digital. Technology is just a tool. How we choose to use it, how we adapt it, that's what makes magic happen. That's the core of innovation, is adopting things, implementing things. And that's exactly been the Estonia journey. I already hinted where Estonia is today. So 20 years of journey has led us to a point where almost anything and everything you need to do with the government, as a citizen, as a resident, you can do digitally. The only two exceptions that you still have to show up for are to get married, get divorced. We really want to make sure you know what you're doing there. Everything else you can think about as a private citizen in your life, any interaction you need to get benefits, to, as an entrepreneur, to get some red tape done or fill some bureaucratic obligations, all of that you can do online with a digital service and wherever you are in the world. It's especially important, I think, in the context of SITE here in this event, that building up this really whole of government digital service delivery and option has greatly contributed to entrepreneurship. So it's been especially instrumental that starting companies has been made easy. In 15 minutes, literally, you can have a company up and running. You're in business. You go online, 15 minutes later, you're in business, you're doing deals. As for entrepreneurs, we even went the extra mile of making digital services mandatory. So as a physical citizen, as a physical person, I still can go to an office somewhere. As an entrepreneur, online is the only way, digital is the only way. And this has greatly supported having a very business-friendly, very sort of entrepreneur-friendly business environment, has been one of the contributing factors to having a strong startup ecosystem and a lot of startup activity in the country. All the way to these days, what we offer is, or what the country offers is something called e-residency. Anyone in the world can apply, become virtually Estonian and set up a company and run it from a distance without even setting a foot in Estonia. So my point being, we went for digital solutions for the sake of productivity, but what we have also found out, there's actually a growth dividend, a sort of wider digital economy dividend to be had from going digital in government. Now from this, I think it pays to talk a bit about, to say what has made it possible, what has indeed been the sort of, if you wish, a bit of Estonian way of getting public sector innovation done, at least in digital uptake. I would focus on perhaps 5 things, and the first one of them is that platforms seems to be the way to go, and I'll explain what I mean. Fundamentally, if we want the whole of government to offer their services, provide their services digitally, well, this means that everybody has to do their job of digitalizing their processes, transforming the way that they work. Now, that takes time and money, something we usually don't have, especially time. How do you speed things up? By building things to be reused, by building certain building blocks that then can be reused, reapplied, and through that in a platform where you make things speed up. So platforms that I have in mind, or that have been instrumental, digital identity is one of them. So having a countrywide digital identity greatly sped things up because all the agencies now, different agencies providing the services, they don't have to think about how to trust the user and how to authenticate the users. That's a common way of doing it. They just plug and play with this platform. Or another example, so to really provide a good government service, digitally or otherwise, you often need to integrate things. You need to exchange data for a seamless experience and interaction for the user. Like if you want to get your taxes done very seamlessly, you need to combine quite a bit of different databases from different agencies together. You can build those connections one by one, or you can have a common platform like we do with an X-Road, a platform called X-Road, which by the way is used in 30 countries around the world now. So my point being, building up, solving things for once, for common needs and functionalities, greatly eases, accelerates the innovation journey. It frees up the agencies at all levels of government to really focus their time and money, their attention to transforming their business, their processes, their work, innovating the core of what they do, as opposed to figuring out how do I authenticate the users. That's a common way for that. So platforms boost things up. But another thing is more a soft thing. To really push the government to go digital and do it in a sort of, uniform way across the whole board, it pays, first of all, to define what good looks like, to set in stone some principles that will define the user experience across the board, and secondly, to use the power of law to push us in this direction. Often people talk about law in the context of innovation and digital uptake in government as well, like we have to remove the barriers. Sure, if a law says that something has to be presented on paper to the government, that's a barrier. That clause best be removed if you want to digitize that service. But we really have tried to use laws to bring in the principles that define good user experience and push us, not just remove the barriers, but push us in a digital direction. So another example I have here is a principle called once only that we have brought into our law and made it mandatory. Once only means that if some part of government knows some information about me, the other parts of government should not ask again, never. If I go to see tax agency, they shouldn't ask for my address again, because that exists in another database. Rather, they have to exchange in the back end. So through bringing the once only principle in, defining it as a mandatory requirement, we've forced a seamless experience. We've forced a better experience. We've simplified, again, the quality, or we improve the quality of the services we provide digitally. So defining the sort of standard to live up to, and then really using the sort of legal, governments are legal animals, the legal power to push us in the direction is a great way to move ahead. The third thing, surely in digital world there are risks. Privacy is a concern, cybersecurity can be a concern, but risks are things you can manage. And that's been our approach to dealing with privacy and cybersecurity. We manage them carefully, all the way from how we design systems to building up capability to manage incidents, or if things happen, bad things happen. We have to be ready for that. We have to practice for that. We have become, for example, a training ground for Europe and NATO and countries globally on how to prepare for cyber war even. So my point being, risks don't have to be the blockers in terms of stopping you from going digital. Rather, if we manage them, if we work, if we prepare for them, then they enable us to go digital. So for example, for privacy, that is why we have something called data tracker. I can log in and see how my government is using my data. For example, I can see which doctor has accessed my sensitive health information. That is a very small technological feature we designed into digital health record that greatly provides for trust of people. So things like that and way more we can do to really manage the risk. And if we manage them, that allows us to go deeper and deeper, further and further in a digital journey. But we have to manage for them. The fourth thing is experimentation. I already started saying that the whole Estonian journey started as an experiment, really, in terms of trying out if technology allows us to be punch beyond our weight as a country. Each time we have succeeded in digital innovation in some agency or in the government, we really have tried to work like startups do. Start small, try things out, scale what works, iterate or pivot if it doesn't. So that's been the way to build up things like online voting, like e-residency, like solving how to do taxes very sort of simply online. To the contrary, each time we have failed, we've gone waterfall, big bang sort of classic IT approach. So this is my point of saying that experimentation and the way how we do things is very much the question of success in innovation. Like we have to have a good method as well, good processes for that. And there's no need to reinvent the rope in government. We know from tech sector, we know from private sector, we know from other governments how to do it properly. Let's just reuse that examples. But there's one trick. Experimentation takes bold political leadership. It takes risk, appetite for risk. So if we started with e-residence in Estonia, we didn't really know how to really manage all the risks at the time, but politicians gave us a credit saying, hey, guys, go figure it out. So the way to experiment has been to be relentlessly focusing on how to solve things. And that sort of attitude, that sort of mindset has carried us along the way. The very last thing, to try to sum up Estonia's 20 years in 15 minutes, I already hinted before, technology is just a tool. And so when we talk about digital innovation, again, technology is the same everywhere. In Thailand, in any country, in Estonia, we have the access to the same technology, even if at a different price. What differs is how we adopt it. And the hard part there is managing the change, managing the adoption. Basically, if we talk about digital transformation, we talk about transforming how we work in governments, how our daily job looks like in a government agency. Making this transformation, this change happen, it's classic ABC of change management, of the steps we need to do to really make sure that people go along with the change, that they come on board with it, that sort of are motivated to do that. I mean, it's incentives we can provide. So building up a digital government in Estonia, if there's one lesson, the biggest lesson we've learned, this is about change management, carefully, comprehensively doing change management. And then the tech part is the silent of that and the easy part. Now from this job of digital government never stops. So even in Estonian case, the government is still busy doing the next things, managing the next changes and trying to start next innovations. Whether it's the question of trying to, for example, make services that are currently digitally available, make them happen invisibly. Make, for example, starting a company, once you start a company, perhaps then the rest of bureaucracy forever can be automatic for you. Things like that, they are actually building out, experimenting and bringing life. Or another example, Estonian government is going very strong in artificial intelligence, really for the reasons of, again, unleashing the next level of productivity in government. How do you do that? Well, you manage the change in agencies, you experiment, you manage the risks involved, you use the law to push it, and you build some platforms for it. So even in the next stages, the Estonian government is reapplying the same good practices, the lessons learned from the 20 years. And having now worked myself with a number of governments in Africa, Middle East, beyond, we see that in a way these are not Estonian lessons only. These are really, in many ways, common good practices from around the world. So hopefully things to implement wherever. And at the end of the day, I think innovation comes down to one thing, or any change, right? Just start. Even if it's complicated, even if there are risks involved, you'll figure it out, just start doing things. That's what all the startups do. And I think that's a lot what we have been often missing in government. We tend to analyze and think a lot and talk a lot and debate a lot. Let's do more. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again for your knowledge and experience that you have shared to us. And next, we would like to continue to the next keynote speech. Are going to discuss more about the topic of future of tourism and service innovation. We'd like to take this opportunity to invite our next speaker. He is a Chief Executive Officer of Agoda. Please welcome on stage Mr. Omri Morgenstern.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for having me. Thanks, NIA, for inviting me. I really appreciate it. So let me tell you a little bit about me, maybe then tell you about my company, and then tell you about travel. So me, 12 years ago, I started my own company. I'm an Israeli, started my own company in Israel and then in Silicon Valley. 3 friends, no money, a little bit crazy. 9 years ago, this company was acquired by a company called Agoda. One of the best career moves I've made in my life. And I was moved to Thailand with my family. I'm married to a lovely Israeli wife. I have 2 kids, one 9 and one 6 years old. They go to NIST International School. And funny fact, when their grandma asked them if they are Israelis, they say, no, we are Thai. So we're very proud to be here. And as I said, coming here was one of the best decisions I made in my life. Let me tell you a little bit about, before we go to Agoda, Agoda is part of a big travel company called Booking Holdings. Booking Holdings is the biggest travel company in the world. It's a 100 billion type of company in NASDAQ. And we have a lot of sister companies that sometimes people don't understand or belong to the same company. So if you heard about Kayak or rentalcars.com or OpenTable, and surely you heard about Booking.com and Agoda, we are all part of the same group, where Agoda is more focused on Asia inside that group. The reason why it's so material and important for us is I believe and we believe that everybody can learn and can teach. And I think this is where we go to learn. We find other companies with a lot of problems, we talk to them, we learn. And I think we have the obligation to teach. Everybody can teach. I learn from my kids every day. This is a little bit about Agoda. Agoda started somewhere in 2002 in Phuket, then moved to Singapore, became a big company. Today we employ more than 6,000 employees, about half of them in Thailand. Thailand is our tech center. So I feel we are one of those companies that managed to make state-of-the-art tech in Thailand, best in the world, and play with the big folks everywhere. We're an international company, we're working in Asia, but big parts of our revenues are coming from the US and from South America and from Europe, so we play everywhere. And just to give you a sense, because we're a public company, I cannot share all the numbers, just to give you a sense the size and scale of Agoda. So just in Thailand alone, we bring in 2023 every day 2 full stadiums, these are the big stadiums, 2 full stadiums of travelers every day. And that's just travel. So every 12 hours, we fill another stadium of tourists. And that's only Thailand. Thailand, for your information, is about 8 to 10% of our transactions. So people ask me, what's our strategy? How did we succeed? How did we become so big, so successful from a company that started somewhere in Phuket, right? And there are a lot of answers to that, but I sum it up to 3 things that I would say this is our core. This is what we keep hammering it in order to be successful in travel. Number 1 is, sounds trivial. It's price. Price, and some deals on the side, we say. At the end of the day, when you sell travel, nothing moves the traveler as much as giving them a good rate and make it accessible to them. And I think we understood it very, very early. And I kid you not, I want to say about half of those 6,000 people, what they do, it sounds easy, it's not. Because when you manage 3 million plus properties, homes, hotels, all sorts of things in between, when you manage, each one of them has different types of promos, different type of coupons, and you want to manage all of it and make sure that you hold a promise to the customer that when they come to your platform, you give them the best price. This is a huge operation that we live and breathe by, and a big part of our success. Number 2 is tech. So Agoda, you see me, I'm standing here as a CEO. I come from a tech background. I learned tech, I learned physics and mathematics and computer science. I was a programmer, I did machine learning, and I ended up being CEO. That tells you something about the nature of the company. We fundamentally believe that the winners in online, not only in online, generally speaking, you can say with enough time everywhere, will be determined by who can develop the best tech. Which means that you gotta be occupied all the time. The problem with tech is that I think you heard in the previous presentation, you gotta work on building it. You don't see you invent now, you don't necessarily see the returns now. You see it over time. You gotta make sure that you have the best people here. And that's why in Agoda, one of the things we do, we always have hybrid. We always have people that we hire here. We try to get the smartest people from the universities, but we always bring a lot of knowledge from the outside. And we have what I call a FOMO, fear of missing out. We are not in Silicon Valley, but we are afraid that we are not in Silicon Valley, so we have to try everything first. I can tell you that if you look at something like OpenAI and ChatGPT, Agoda is one of the biggest users of ChatGPT APIs in the world, right? It's pretty us and Microsoft going hand in hand, right? Those are the scales that we're talking about, and it's not trivial, and a lot of it is not gaining anything. It's just tries and tests, and we talked about test and experimentation, but we're so paranoid about being state-of-the-art that it became a culture, and we think it's necessary in order to be successful. Last, what we do in Agoda very well, and I think that's one of the key areas for our success, is localization. We understood, and maybe it's because we grew up in Asia, that you cannot expect the Thai consumer to think like the Chinese consumer, to think like the Japanese consumer, or the Korean, or the Indonesian, right? Each one of them is used to different things. It can be a little bit about the user experience. The user experience can look differently. It can be about payment options, right? In Thailand, everybody uses prompt pay. Nobody coming to Thailand knows what prompt pay is. All sorts of things that you need to learn how to deal with partners and consumers, and do it at scale, which is hard. That's why you need the tech. And that's a key lever in order to be successful. So I wanted to give you a few words about what we learned in COVID. And I wanted to tell you how it leads to what we're doing short term and what I see happening long term, right? So a few things that we learned during COVID in the last few years. One, this is trivial stuff, you know it. Online is where travel happens. Right? And if there are people, I see, you know, I work with a lot of governments sometimes, and a lot of them are doing offline trade shows, etc. Folks, online is where the consumer is. The consumer was there before. Gen Z and the millennials were always there. But what happened during COVID is even generations that didn't use online that much, they didn't have any other choice. They started using online to do everything. And then what happened is the shift to online happened much faster during COVID. And what you see is, even when you look at travel today, online travel in 2023 in Asia would be completely recovered from 2019. When you look at offline travel, you need 2-3 more years. When you look even at business travel, online leisure, where you find people that are more young and want to travel, recovered much faster. So I would say online mobile is where the money should go. That's where the consumer is, and across generations, not only the young people. Another thing that we've seen in travel, which is fascinating to me, is that I call it the rise of flexibility. And I'll explain. And I'm simplifying a little bit. Agoda had 2 types of offers, roughly, that we sell. One of them is what we call the non-refundable. It's the purple line. It means that you cannot cancel once you book. Usually it's cheaper. So you lose the flexibility in order to, but you get to pay less. The other type is what we call refundable. So you can cancel almost until the moment that you need to travel, but as a result, it's more expensive, right? And usually we source those offers from our partners. In the past, before COVID, we sold roughly the same amount of refundable and non-refundable. So I would say 50% of the people would be more sensitive to the ability to cancel, and 50% would be, just give me the cheapest price. What happened after during COVID, and then I think it's also interesting that it remained, is that it's almost like the price of flexibility grew. So people are willing to pay much more in order to be able to cancel, in order to get another option, in order to get away. It's almost like COVID was such a huge trauma for humanity that people are just not certain anymore, and they just always want the option to bail. Right? That's one thing that we see very, very clear with our data. Another thing, by the way, that we see is that I think, and it relates to the trauma as well, people say you think that you had a trip planned somewhere and all of a sudden there's a lockdown in that city. You got to go and call one provider, cancel that flight. You got to call another provider, cancel the hotel. Maybe you have an attraction booked. Maybe you bought some money that you want to be delivered there. All of those things you got to cancel with, I don't know, 5, 7 providers, and you need to talk to each one of them and convince them to help you. People are I'd say, as part of the flexibility, they don't want to get this experience anymore. People want to get one experience from somebody managing everything for them, more like a travel agent in the sense, but it has to be online. And that's hard, and we'll talk about how it's shaping what we do. So let's talk about what I call short-term. These are things that we started doing maybe late 2021 into 2022, definitely 2023, and I suspect they'll be with us for some period of time. One, we talked about flexibility and the desire of the consumer for flexibility, and what it rose with us is what I call the rise of consumer fintech. What's consumer fintech in the sense of travel? It's all about taking risk, taking credit risk. So we see companies, Agoda as one of them, we take more and more risk to allow the customers to have more flexibility. And I'll give you 2 examples of what I mean by risk. One of them is a feature like price freeze. So the prices may go up, may go down. What we say to consumers, look, you can lock the price. If the prices go up, we pay the difference. We take the risk on us. If the prices go down, you can choose you can still get the price that is cheap. So 0 risk for you. You need to pay a little bit in advance just in order to capture that option. But we take all the risk about the price going up, right? That's an example of a product that we wouldn't consider before COVID. But now we consider because we know how important it is, this ability of flexibility and it's flexibility and stability. They know that it's there. It's not going anywhere. There are not going to be big changes. Another option is we take non-refundable. We talked about those non-refundable rooms. We take them and we make them refund. So the supplier will give me a non-refundable offer. I cannot cancel. I'll allow the consumer to cancel. Why can I do that? Because I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a risk that if the customer cancels, I can resell that offer. So I'm allowing more flexibility to the consumer by taking a risk on me. And that's something that we see a lot. So OTAs and in general travel players taking a risk in order to allow for more flexibility and better prices. Second one is interesting, and I also bundle it into flexibility. And that's the desire to use loyalty points. We've seen it growing through COVID, especially prices are going up, supply is low. Consumers are trying to use whatever they can in order to buy travel. And they want to use their loyalty points, whether it's the bank, credit cards, airlines, right? Everywhere you have a loyalty points, you want to use it in order to buy travel. And they want to use the entire travel package. Remember what I said, they want to book everything. So one thing that we do, and we see, not only us, and it's a B2B effort, is to take, we call it Agoda in a box, or white label. Take everything that Agoda can do and put it on other partners and allow their customers to book on their assets with their loyalty points. And that's something that we are seeing as a huge trend happening more and more. So everywhere there's loyalty, I expect that you'll find a travel experience that is white labeled. Last, I want to talk about something we call the persistent trip. And the problem is interesting. As I told you, consumers want to get all the service from one provider. They want somebody to take over all the liability. They don't want to chase others. They want this one partner to trust, right? Here's the problem. That sounds a lot like a package, right? Packages existed, or you can book a package from somebody and you book everything through them. Here's the problem with that. Package makes you have to make all the decisions at the moment you book the package. You need to decide on your flight and your hotels for all the journey, and you need to decide what attractions you're taking, and 2 things happen. A, your plans change, so you don't want to do it in advance, and B, people just don't like to do it. People don't like to think, the majority of the people, and we see it very, very clearly with our data, they don't want to think about everything 2 months before they take off. They want to think same. The majority of the people will book the attractions either one day before the trip or while they're on the trip because they just thought about what they're going to do tomorrow, right? So you got to create a user experience that allows a consumer to start an itinerary and then package in, but not at the same time, throughout the journey. That's what we call the persistent trip or the persistent itinerary. And 2 things happen when you do that. One, the more you add, the cheaper it becomes. Otherwise, it doesn't hold water. The entire promise of a package is it's cheaper. The second thing is that if you have any problem, we cover you. We have your back. So if it's a rainy day and you booked a Disneyland ticket, we'll move you to another attraction that doesn't require being outside, right? And that type of customer support and that type of thinking is where the persistent trip is new. And I prepared a small movie for you. I hope I can, oops, need to go one back. Maybe can we try to show the movie just in order to grasp some of the concepts that we are talking about?
This is Jane and Tom. They're thinking of a week-long trip to Japan for a holiday. Jane is looking for inspiration for things to do on Agoda. The autumn scenery on Mount Fuji looks like a great place to visit. She confirms the plan with Tom and decides to book their flights first. On the Agoda app, Jane conveniently finds flights recommended based on her previous searches. Success! She made her first booking for her trip and proceeds to view her trip itinerary. With her flight booked, Jane has now unlocked trip discount for the subsequent bookings for her Japan trip. Jane invites Tom to her trip as a collaborator and asks him to find a hotel for the first 2 nights in Japan. Luckily for Tom, he can browse hotels directly from their shared trips page using his own Agoda app, and saves hotels he likes best, so Jane can have a short list to choose from. Jane can then easily compare shortlisted options added by Tom, and decides to book Yamadaya Hotel with a 20% trip discount. With flights and a hotel booked, Agoda now recommends the most convenient transit options from the airport to the hotel. She books the train tickets and gets another 20% trip discount. This way, she has her first day completely planned just the way she had imagined it. Today's the day Jane and Tom set off on their much-awaited trip to Tokyo. Unfortunately, Jane is notified of their flight delay. She grows increasingly anxious about the impact this news would have on their scheduled train to Mount Fuji. Before she takes any action, Jane finds out that Agoda has already updated their train ride based on their flight delay. She didn't have to do anything. How convenient! Despite their delay, they finally depart for Tokyo. Sadly, their sightseeing plans around Mount Fuji are disrupted by bad weather, and Jane and Tom are stuck in their hotel. Given the weather, Agoda recommends an indoor green tea workshop happening nearby. Eager for an activity, Jane signs them up for the workshop and gets yet another trip discount. They end up turning a rainy day into a perfect Japanese cultural experience. It's the end of their trip and Jane and Tom are flying home. Thanks to Agoda's smart recommendations, they were able to make the most of their trip, traveling more with less hassle.
All right, so hopefully that gave you a little bit of a feeling what we're talking about. And it goes back to all the things that you heard before, putting all the data together, trusting, being smart, using smart AI in order to recommend, in order to move, in order to understand what your problem is, being empathetic to your customer. It's all about that. Last, I want to spend 2-3 minutes talking about what do I see 5-7 years from now. And you heard a lot of those things. I'll just give you my interpretation. So one of them is crypto. Many people ask me if crypto is dead. So I don't know if crypto is dead. I don't think crypto is dead. Definitely crypto is not hyped as it was before. I think my interpretation is we need to look at the use case. One of the problems with crypto was that there was no clear use case. So there were very few use cases, not enough. Everybody were dreaming about use cases didn't emerge. But here and there, certain use cases did emerge. One big one that I believe in is international payments. I think, and we talked about prompt pay. If I'm a tourist coming from Belgium now to Thailand, I cannot pay with prompt pay. I'm stuck with the same credit card, paying the same fees that the bank wants me to pay, etc. I think this all is gone. 5 years from now, the ability to pay internationally with local payments or whatever you want will be much, much, much easier. Part of it will be because of better integration in the fintech revolution. Part of it will be because of crypto infrastructures that will allow to move money much easier between countries, between entities. So I think crypto is not dead. I think it changes its face to something more productive. AR, VR, Meta, all of those types of, all of this hype. Again, my 2 cents. I think VR is great and interesting. I think there's a long way to go before it becomes more than gaming. That's my, that's my personal view. I'm not quoting anybody. Mark Zuckerberg will probably disagree, but everybody's entitled to their opinions. VR is mostly gaming for me in the foreseeable future. I may be wrong. What's interesting, really interesting, and I'm sure all of you saw the Apple new announcement on the new AR device that they are talking about. I don't know if that will catch up, but I think AR is a much better solution to disrupt industries that are outside of gaming. And you can think about a travel experience, think about what AR does to a travel experience, just to get the ability to get annotations as you walk and talk, all the way to you can stay in a hotel, and the decoration on the walls may be personalized to your taste through your, whatever you are wearing. So I think the implications, the use cases are clear and the implications are big. Question is whether the tech will be there. If I need to make a bet, I would bet that in the next 5 to 10 years, not a year or two, but 5 to 10 years, AR will revolutionize, AR, not VR, will revolutionize everything that we do. Last, I want to talk about, I put here AGI, but really AGI is a general term of machines being as smart as humans. But obviously, the new kid on the block is generative AI and ChatGPT. And I just give you my 2 cents before we finish about what I think about what they mean in travel. So in travel, I see 2 use cases. One of them is, for me, is super clear and will happen. And the other one is more aspirational. There's a question mark. The one that will definitely happen is what generative AI did is, for the first time in history, computers can speak better than humans. Computers has been able to do math better than humans for a long time, maybe 20 years. Now computers can speak better than humans. And what you can do is put them together. We are much closer to simulate a human brain with a combination of computer abilities. And what it means is huge disruption to everything that humans do manually. From the trivial ones are content creation, customer support, by the way, accounting, everything that is a repeatable task. There's no reason why 5 years from now it won't be at least partially automated. If not, and partially is not 5%, partially is 50, 60, 70%. But another one that I think will be disrupted very heavily is development. I think, and that's in line with all the startups here. I think that doing software development 5 years from now will be completely different than how I did software development. If you come from that background and you look at how you do it today, it's amazing what those tools can do. And I can tell you in Agoda, we are using it today, and we are starting to scratch the 10, 15% efficiency. That will be 50 to 60, 70% efficiency on the same workforce. Amazing, amazing opportunity. The part that I'm not certain about yet, but I think there is an interesting aspect there, is what happens to interfaces. On the one hand, with a ChatGPT platform, you can say something complicated like, I want a 3-star hotel in a warm city. I have 2 kids. I like my bed to be comfortable. I like swimming pools that are very big. And you'll get something out of it, which today, honestly, platforms cannot do easily. But this is not how consumers behave, right? I don't know if you're aware, but 80% of the Agoda customers will never use any filter or any sort. They'll go write one name, the destination name, and book one of the 5 to 6 entries that we recommend to them with our AI, right? TikTok doesn't work like that. It shows you things and you interact with them. Tinder doesn't work like that. So there's a clash there between ease of use and UIs that give you what you want to something that you need to talk to and is very sophisticated. And how those things will sit together is the future, I think, of UX on the internet. And it's not cracked and it's not clear. You see a lot of attempts. It may fail completely and nothing changes. So it may yield with something completely new, more on the line of the personal assistant that everybody was always dreaming about, and maybe today it comes. But it's not clear, and I suspect in the next 5 to 10 years, the combination, it's not generative AI, the combination between generative AI and the UIs that we have today will yield user interfaces that are totally different than what we have today. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Omri, for your insights on the future of tourism and service innovation สำหรับเมื่อสักครู่นี้นะคะเราก็ได้รับฟังนะคะจากทาง
A while ago, we have heard from CEO of Agoda already, and there are so many interesting points about innovations and the future of the services of tourism. Which direction that it should be, that which is so interesting. And there are so many points that we can really expand further. And the next topic, we will be hearing a special keynote under the theme of NIA Innovation Focal Facilitators, Bridging Public and Private Partnerships. And we'll be hearing from the speakers.
to delivered by our next speaker. Once again, that I would like to remind for all of our guests, if you would like to receive the interpretation headset, you can contact our staff right next to the stage on your left-hand side. And up next, please allow me to continue and introduce you to the next topic of NIA Innovation Focal Facilitator Bridging Public and Private Partnership ต้องขอเรียนเชิญนะคะสำหรับท่านวิทยากรท่านต่อไปค่ะ
And may I invite the next speaker? He is the chairman of National Innovation Committee from the National Innovation Agency Public Organization. Please, big hand to Assistant Professor Soranit Sintham. Committee of the National Innovation Agencies, the Secretary General of the Board of Investment (BOI), Deputy Secretary of Office of the Public Sector Development Commissions, the executive from public sectors, private sectors, and academia, as well as associations, and distinguished guests and all the media. I will talk on behalf of our NIA agencies. And I'd like to confirm about the previous direction, which been, plans and what will be the future. And actually, I was at the science technologies ministry, and I've been retired for already 7 years. In the last 7 years that we've been supported from the government as well as the associations and relevant private sectors, we receive very good support, and I think that the past direction should be continued further. According to from the evaluation of the COVID-19 outbreak in the past 3 years, it brings with severe change, as you may already aware. And in terms of economic recession has occurred, like Agoda representative just mentioned, they talk about recession and there are a lot of uncertainties. Nonetheless, we need to develop our competitiveness of our countries, and we have to recover that capacity in order to lead in this region. And we should really, and it should be expanded to globally. I think that the political direction has some part of political area has been blocked and some or reopened, and anything it keep impacting to the global change. Whatever we thought, we have to consider in the wider impact, and that's about the problem happen in the currently. Now talking about the social inequalities in Thailand still remained, and even though everyone tried to work on it, even try to work harder, but we still can see the rate of employment, the relocation, poverty, and disparity because happen in wider range. Another important point, another important problem was about aging societies that come very quick, and Thailand already entered to the aging society. But nonetheless, even though I'm an elder people, a person, I still need to work as well as other people because we have to, we have to rely on 60 years of age, people to work. But we have to be concerned about the younger generation. Look at as our advisor keep reminding me all the time that we have to prepare about newborn babies and the proportion of the population, which really impact to the national image. And that really impact to the government welfare system. One problem that I would like to address is about climate change. The national disaster in all forms appear to be more severe, and in the past that didn't exist, like such as PM 2.5 and a warmer climate, and temperature. And many countries are well aware and try to control the gas emission from the industrial sectors. And the fourth area that really impact or involved with climate change, it's about sustainability. I witnessed, the trigger point from about sustainability in all sectors, especially for private sectors. As you can see that Kasikorn Bank, they make an announcement that they are the leader in terms of ESG policies. So like you can see that a lot of movement from in private sectors. But for public sector, the government committed about net zero in the year 2050. But I still believe that there's not big progress in public sectors. We have to really move on or work more on sustainability. And sustainability consists of experiment. Climate change is part of it, but there will be the word S stand for social. It really covered people and how to take care of the staff in the organization as well as all of our staff, and it really handle or cover the society and nearby environment. And the little G stand for governance, how to provide the fairness, or fair procurement. So these four areas that I just show you as examples, those are the competitiveness, inequity, climate change, sustainability. Those are important areas, and there are many more, such as the situation and the changing of technologies, AI, as other speakers already mentioned. It really caused the impact definitely to our work situation. And so based on that analysis, it's really, I'd like to talk about the role of NIA. We've been working for long. In the past, I can use that we are a system integrator, but currently we, no matter how we change to focal, even though we change to focal facilitator, but our work could link or connect to each other. In terms of focal facilitator, in order to translate in Thai, a simple Thai language is to provide, is to facilitate innovations. We try to open, give the opportunity for everyone can get access, and it can lead to the good collaboration. We will develop in a lot of areas. We're not going to focus in particular point of innovation. Could be finance, social, or how to data usage, or how to make data for strategies. So we would like to transform innovation sustainably. Talking about strategies, it could be more kind of a classroom type. Talking about the strategies, we focus on how to turn or develop Thailand innovation system towards to be open system. We try to connect or strengthen the innovation system. Second strategy is to transform Thailand's financial system, because many incomes or budget or funds could be used in order to develop or in order to grow innovation. The third innovation that NIA would like to do is to create a data system. Data is so important, and we hope that data can be used to drive everything. Good data will help or support the decision making, and it was the empirical evidence for the decision maker. The fourth strategy to really drive the high efficient organization, we like to develop our organization to the change. So all those four strategies, I believe that we are in a good way in the past 6-7 years, or in the future, how we shape our directions. Actually, this SITE event, the event of SITE, this we talk about our work direction. If you look at the chart of the SITE or anatomy of SITE 2023, it could help providing the questions. behind the stage, you can see an area where the innovators, including startups, in Thailand, there are about 2,000 startups who came to register, and there are a lot more non-registered startups. Those who came to our event, we have about 200 startups joining our event today, but we hope that to expand startup network more. And next from startup, next will be SME. SME which could be the next startup, and there could be a big companies further. So NIA would like big companies provide support to startups and help new young generations who are growing. So these could be one of our directions. For all of that, one thing that we like to change, and we have done already, is to change people mindset. And we like to change the mindset of universities and change the mindset of all gens that you don't need to know, you don't need to learn for certificate or to learn. They should learn to get certificate or to do simple research, but they have to have entrepreneurship skill. They could earn their money, they could be entrepreneur without concerning everything, because NIA will take part and contribute our support and to provide funding to those young gens further. When I saw the booth of startups, SME, as well as big companies, we have big companies helping us. And the next booth, it's from our alliance or partners. We have partners from public sectors. We have BOI, we have industrial federations, and we have OPDC or Office of the Public Sector Development Commissions come and join our events, including other ministries joining us. And next will be international agencies from different countries joining us, and our Deputy Prime Minister visit Hungarian and Japanese booth. And this year we have Thai Franco Innovation event, which is already set up in Paris, but we will set up or organize this in Thailand. And there are other events in Germany, Austria that we would like to participate. And we already signed many MOUs like from Finland and Israel. So this is our mission to partner with all partners. And if you go even further, you can see that we give awards. We have Prime Minister Award. This is something that we have done for 4 years already, and I believe that Prime Minister Award could help motivating startups, or for those who grow could feel proud from our agencies, from NIA, from Thai government, or Prime Minister to really give the name of this award. So we work like this. We work, with this process in order to strengthen or to drive, Thai innovation to grow even bigger. And the last point, we will measure with global innovation index in order to compete internationally, and that is another index. But we would like to help. We would like to grow our business, grow our economy. Thailand, since they're young or students, they have capability, and they can be they have entrepreneurship mindset. So this is our direction to really help and drive Thailand, for today and future. Thank you so much.
ขอบคุณนะคะท่านรองศาสตราจารย์
I would like to thank Associate Professor Dr. Soranit Silatham once again for making us realize that NIA is a government agency that helps facilitate in terms of innovation and connects the private and public partnership not only within the country but also on an international level as well. So innovators and entrepreneurs as well as startups can be confident that we will be with you. We will be alongside with you, and we will support you in order to increase the strengthen the ecosystem. And now we will hear from investment promotion strategies to drive Thailand's economy towards a new economy. And we will hear from the Secretary General of the Thailand Board of Investment, who will speak to us about this issue. And I'd like to welcome Kun Narit Thert Sathirasak. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank the NIA for inviting the BOI to speak today. I will use a short amount of time to talk about the future investments as well as supporting policies from the government, particularly the BOI. So I think you all know that the world is facing challenges, various challenges, and many of those challenges will affect investment in the next 4 to 5 years. For instance, the first issue, geopolitical tensions, has resulted in investors trying to seek stable investment areas. And this is an opportunity for Thailand to support investors. Another issue is decarbonization and the trend related to ESG. These are two important trends, not only on the national level, but top companies have been giving importance in these issues. If we look back to around 10 years ago, people were starting to talk about SDGs, ESGs, and it's something that is intangible. They were looking to create an image, but in reality, 10 years ago, no one was really serious about these issues. But nowadays, you can see many companies giving importance to carbon neutrality and lowering emissions. So they have clear goals, and each company is giving importance to the path to achieve these goals. So moving forward, an important trend is green investment. Investors are looking for countries that have policies that support green investment as well as clean energy for the industrial sector. And the next is digital transformation, which is an important trend, especially after the COVID pandemic, when many companies gave importance to digital transformation. The fourth factor is the global minimum tax. So this is a new global tax rule from the OECD, and it affects investment from multinational companies. And the last factor is related to the aging society, where many countries are starting to have an increasing number of elderly population. Many countries are considered having a super age population, and this results in the trend of smart manufacturing, where automation and the use of robots and digital technology is increasingly being used in businesses. So all of these are important trends that will result in a shift of investment in the next 4 to 5 years ahead. Now, when we have looked at the global trend, let's take a look at Thailand. We can see that Thailand has many strengths, including a strategic location. Thailand is in the middle of the region and there's good connectivity. We are able to connect with various countries. We are close to big markets such as China and India. We have excellent infrastructure, the best in the region. We have a strong supply chain, especially those who are producing parts for the automotive or electronic sector. We have a high quality workforce, especially in terms of engineers or technicians. We have a business-friendly environment. We have competitive incentives and government support. And an important thing is the green investment policy is an important trend. And Thailand is among the few countries that are able to respond to these demands. Previously, the public and private sectors have given importance to the biocircular green economy, or BCG, and we also have an energy infrastructure, high renewable energy, more than other countries, and we have a clear goal to increase the ratio to 50% of total energy consumption within 2043, and the government is also creating a utility green tariff as a new mechanism to find clean energy, to source clean energy for the industrial sector. So top companies can be confident that when they invest in Thailand, we'll have sufficient clean energy to support those companies so that they can reach carbon neutrality. And the last is resiliency and neutrality. In the midst of problems throughout the world, we have a good relationship with all countries, and many call Thailand as a conflict-free zone or a safe zone for investment. So if you invest in Thailand, you are able to trade with any country in the world. So this is one of the strengths that has resulted in investors looking towards Thailand in the future. So when we've looked at the global trend and the strength of Thailand, we think that Thailand is able to become a regional hub in 5 areas. A technology hub, especially the core industries, whether it's digital, EV, or electronics. And we have competitiveness in terms of being a BCG hub of the region, in terms of renewable energy, biotech, we have human resources, we have raw material. And so these are our strengths. For food security, renewable energy, and bio-based industries, we have competitiveness in becoming a talent hub of the region. This is one of the reasons why the government has issued various measures to attract talented foreigners to work, live, and invest in Thailand long term. And also, we have the competitiveness in becoming a logistics and business hub, especially in becoming a regional headquarters and a creativity hub of the region as well. And this is the last one. From all the factors that I have mentioned, the BOI has enacted a 5-year strategy, and the goal is to move the Thailand's economy into a new economy. And this includes innovative, competitive, and inclusive factors. We have 7 pillars. The important pillars include strengthening the value chain, enhancing the industry to become a smart and sustainable industry, and also pushing forward Thailand to becoming an international market, and also supporting SMEs and startups to connect to other countries. In terms of targeted industries, we have 12 targeted industries under the government's policies. The BOI board has priority sectors within the next 5 years, including BCG, EV, electronics, digital, and the creative industry. And the existing 12 targeted industries have been upgraded. Whether it's the automotive sector in becoming EV, or the electronics sector, especially in terms of semiconductors. And the chemical sector is shifted to bio-based specialty chemicals, which has an increased value. And we also focus on smart farming or food for the future, such as alternative proteins, organic foods. And the tourism sector, we focus on high value added tourism and long-term stay. So these are the so we have tried to upgrade existing industries. And we also focus on industries that will be the future game changer. And these are the 5 industries on the right-hand side. So under the BOI's new strategy, we have issued 9 measures. And the important measures are the one that I have highlighted. So to summarize, we have measures to increase the competitiveness and for companies to conduct research and development, to train their staff, to develop local suppliers. And the 6th measure is to enhance the industrial sector in becoming a smart and sustainable industry, such as using advanced technology, switching the machinery to become more energy efficient, using renewable energy in the business, using green technology or green energy, or using machinery to upgrade the business process. And the 8th measure is an area-based measure where we provide incentives to industries in various areas. We work with the NIA. We have many main areas that we work with, such as the EEC and the science and technology areas. And we work with the NIA to design packages to provide incentives, such as improvement in terms of medical technology or biotech. If any business that conducts these types of if they invest in these areas, they will receive incentives from the BOI. So these are the incentives that we try to provide in order to result in inclusive growth in Thailand. And for the science and technology area, we work with the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation as well. Another measure that we work with the NIA are the startup grants. We have a fund to enhance the competitiveness, and we support startups by focusing on those that are recently set up until the growth stage. We support deep tech and also digital businesses. And one of the requirements is that they require funding of not more than 5 million baht. And we will provide not more than 50% of the budget used to hire human resources. And currently, a total of around 30 startups have been approved, including those that are in the pipeline that have asked for the startup grant. Another issue, apart from the privileges that we provide to the manufacturing and service sectors, is the regional headquarters. We would like Thailand to become the regional business hub and also a place where top companies set up their regional headquarters, so that Thailand is a base for these companies. During the past 7 to 8 years, we have already promoted 400 projects. Most of them are Japanese companies. And this is because Japanese companies have been in Thailand for a long time, whether it's the automotive sectors or machinery sectors. So when they already have factories, the next step is that they relocate their headquarters to Thailand. And we have examples of many companies such as Agoda, Kun Omri already mentioned. And it's one example that Agoda is using Thailand as a regional headquarters. At the Central World Building, they have 3,000 employees. 1,000 of them are Thais. And they are young people who are experienced in technology. So they are IT guys who work together, who exchange experiences. And I think it's a good example that is creating jobs, valued jobs for Thai youth. And the last measure that I would like to talk about is the LTR visa. It's a long-term resident visa, and it's another measure that supports in terms of innovation in attracting human resources, those who are experts from other countries to come to Thailand in industries that we are lacking. And we want these people to stay long-term in Thailand, to invest and to contribute to Thai society, to the private sector in terms of innovation and technology. So we will provide them with a 10-year visa as well as an automatic work permit. And for the highly skilled professionals, they will pay only 17% of personal income tax. So that is a flat rate. And we have also expanded the quote of the LTR visa to include other sectors as well, whether it's experts from the digital sector, logistics, or experts in the finance and marketing sectors. Ever since we launched the measure in September last year, up until now, we have received more than 4,000 applications. Most of them are from Europe. We have some from America and also China. Finally, in case anyone would like to come to the BOI for support, we provide support for both Thais and foreigners with all sizes, not necessarily big companies. So for SMEs, if you invest 500,000 baht, you can receive promotion from us. We cover all sectors, the service sectors, agriculture, industrial sector, and we support businesses nationwide, not only in the EEC, but if they are in the EEC, or if they are in the science and technology zones, they will receive increased privileges. And we provide incentives in terms of projects. So there are projects that receive incentives and those who do not. When there is a new investment, they can ask for new investment benefits. And apart from tax incentives, we also provide non-tax incentives and other services, such as connecting with other industries, providing advice. These are the things that we offer to both Thai and foreign investors. So that's all I have for today. Thank you very much.
ขอบคุณคุณนฤทธิ์อีกครั้งหนึ่ง
Thank you for Kun Narit once again for your support and for provide the support for Thai entrepreneurs. Especially in the next session, we will hear further on the innovation and developing Thailand bureaucracy towards becoming a reliable public sector. And for this session, we'll be heard from the Deputy Secretary General of the Office of Public Sector Development Commission. And if you're interested, please join and be seated in front of the main stage. And may I invite the Deputy Secretary General of the Office of Public Sector Development Commission, Kun Aripan Jalansuk, on the stage, please. Distinguished guests, first of all, I would like to extend my thanks to the National Innovation Agencies for your kind invitation, our organization to join good events and important events. And in terms of improving the innovation, it's something that we just started, and we apply what's called rewarding mechanism. Rewards can motivate. This is our motivation or incentive in order to provide or convince other sectors to join innovation. We have started in the last 20 years. We had a basic award for the quality of service for citizens. This is to improve this is a little innovation. So in terms of our development, we will develop the innovation on our limitation. If we provide service to the people in a long time, so we have to shorten our process to provide service. And then in the year 2006, we set up another award, innovation award. And in the meantime, the changing point, the turning point to apply, we apply United Nations Public Award or UNPSA. We use as indicator or criteria to provide the award. So according to UNPSA criteria, there will be international criteria, and we try to engage and the public agencies go to the international level, and we are so successful. We can really drive the winners, the national winners, to become well accepted internationally. And then we also have the excellence, the award of excellence. It's considered the excellence or the best award that we give. So the numbers show collaboration. The government agencies use rewarding mechanism. You may wonder what are awards. Award is just a trophy, but apart from trophy, it's to create pride, for the winners. So any government officers, we use a keyword, work with heart. We use a keyword, work with heart. Each year that we conduct these rewarding events, there's a lot of agencies sign up to be selected, and you can see a lot of work. The numbers that show on the screen here is a proof that we combine the numbers in only 5 years. There were 3,969 applicants, and there were 1,404 agencies received the award. And in terms of national innovation-based work, there were 379 innovation related work. So we can see that development and change had happened. So for the public sectors, we apply different measures to develop innovation, such as design thinking, developing innovations in each agencies in order to make sure that we have systematic innovation system. From this slide, you can see that based on our efforts in the public sectors, we accumulate a little of works. We accumulate a lot of works. There are more than 1,000 works, and these works has been scattered all around the nation. So people in up countries, people in different areas can receive better service. And you can see that we can move to we move to international award, and there are 16 for UNPSA, and every year Thai innovators receive this award because Thailand, we apply the same criteria as UN criteria. So this is our pride. So talking about the public sectors, we have dimension. We have innovation to provide service. We collaborate with public. For example, like Royal Irrigation Department, they have issue to manage irrigation or water irrigation system. So we include people to set up the plan how to manage water so that we can allocate water equally. Or for vulnerable groups of people who cannot get access to electricity, we have a sample. For example, the local administrative office in Nong Tatem sub-district. People there, they can involve in managing a solar cell in more than 600 households. They use motto that as far as their sun, community can get the electricity from solar cell. So these are the samples from UN prize. If you have a chance to visit booth from public agencies, we collect outstanding works and excellent work. We showcase these excellent works. The first one, it's the award that we received the award from this year. It's DEPA. It's how to provide or to maintain good environment. The last animals, in Libong area, and normally we use patrol boat, to patrol, and DEPA they use drone to collect data of dugong animals and how we can conserve or preserve the environment, and we received the UN prize. Normally, DEPA need to travel to Shanghai to receive award during this period, 22nd through 26th, but they postponed the rewarding ceremony to the end of the year. Another samples that you may see, toffee fondue. This is a platform to take all the complaints. It's from NTSC, which is very popular because toffee fondue is to provide whenever public or people has any complaint, they can use this platform to file their complaint, and there are a lot of agencies will come to help solve this issue. Or in agricultural area, they create agri-map. The agri-map, it's so outstanding work that it can help set up the agricultural zone. Any zone is fit to grow durian tree. Any zone is fit or suitable to grow lychee tree. So the farmers can use this innovation to analyze the soil quality in order to make sure that it fits for their crops or cultivation. Or one model called Tan Deo model is to manage waste. Waste is big issue for Thailand, especially in up countries. They're getting urbanized and there's a lot of waste or garbage, but there's no good management way. So Tan Deo model, it's in Saratburi province, and people initiate this idea and work with community to change garbage or waste and turn it into energy and turn waste into gold. This is another work sample. And in the next slide, you can see that apart from innovation related to technology, how we use digital in our life, another outstanding innovation is the public health innovation. In the past, in order to solve public health issues, we apply simple methods. We just use DIY. We improvise things, in public health, because in order to import technology from overseas, we have to it required high investment. So innovator try to create simple work. Some may think that this is not innovation. It could be something that people improvise, but this is how we can solve the problem for people. Let's say it's like transplant the stem cell to really treat eye for eyes patients, or for Roy-Ed, to protect some kind of the cancers. You may to screen to screen some kind of cervical cancer, by using the vinegar. And today we have a Thai-rich model. We use 3D to create artificial arms, and it costs very low, and it can help solving problem for people with disabilities to live their life normally. And we have platform. We have data from disease control department, and disease control department has a very important database while Thailand encounter with COVID situations. Or even though Khon Kaen universities, they have equipment to help treat nasal problem patients. So patients can live their life, normally. So we are committed to create innovation, and this is something that we try to really respond to the situation. In our 13 milestone, we would like to have modern and agile and efficient, service. We would like to be open and transparent agencies. So what we like to see in the future, and these are our next steps. In order to improve our bureaucracy process, we will have modern and reliable and digitalized government. And we would try to improve ourselves to be open government. So we are committed to, we will apply citizen-centric approach. We will include other sectors. We will open the area, and we open a forum to include users, because sometimes our platform, our work did not really focus or apply customer-centric, and we try to increase our productivity by applying digital and innovation. And in this afternoon, we will have big forum to talk about better data, better decision. For those who are interested to join the session, please be welcome to join, because we have speaker to discuss how we manage the public data. And if we manage public data efficiently, we will, improve our process. And these are all, to good governance for better life. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kun Aripant, the Deputy Secretary of the Office of Public Sector Development Commission. And today, we just started, and there are so many topics that you can expand further in terms of knowledge and experiences that you heard from speakers. And let us take a lunch break for a while, and please resume back in the afternoon. And there are more topics, interesting topics. We will resume back from 1300 or 1 p.m. onwards. So as Kun Aripant already mentioned, we will discuss and deep dive further on better data, better decisions from the Office of Public Sector Development Commission. And we will discuss on, there will be a panelist on the stage starting from 1 p.m. onwards. So while we have lunch, you may spend time during this lunch break to visit different activities in this event. There's a lot of interesting, booth. We have showcase zones, and they showcase the innovation that we'd like you to visit. And there will be startup and entrepreneurs from different areas, and there are public and private sectors came and joined in order to, and proposed their work. And we also have zone of business opportunity so that you can exchange the experience and idea to expand business together. We have entrepreneurs and we have innovative products, from more than 250 startups together, as well as pitching activities and business plans from more than 50 startups throughout 3 days event. And we have international zones, and you may visit those booths and zones in order to see more than 10 international booths from 5 countries. This is how we strengthen a business relationship. And we will resume back again at 1300. So enjoy your lunch. I'll see you later. Thank you.